Okay.
You?
Morning.
Kadapa.
What happened to Kadapa?
Sainath came from Goa to Kadapa.
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay. He's back. Sorry, I'm not on camera. Oops, sorry. So we'll just give a minute more for people to join. So the other class got a little delayed and I'm back again. Okay. Can you give me a minute? I'll just be back.
Sainath, exactly from Kadapa or near Kadapa?
In Kadapa town only. Kadapa town.
Okay. I am sure you know railway code.
So your railway code.
Yeah.
Railway code anta mandele. ఇక్కడ ఇంతకుముందు ఎక్కడ చేస్తున్నారా లేకుంటే ఇప్పుడే ట్రై చేయడం?
లేదు ఫస్ట్ ఇంతకుముందు డెవలప్స్ ట్రై చేస్తాం మన వల్ల కాల. అది చాలా టూల్స్ ఉన్నాయి దాంట్లో,
కొంచెం కాంప్లికేటెడ్ గా ఉంది.
చాలా, ఇంకా దీన్ని జంప్ అయిపోయా.
DevOps నేను కూడా ఈవెన్ ఐ వెంట్ ఫర్ DevOps support.
ఓకే. అక్కడ వర్క్ చేశారా?
లేదు మామూలు కోర్స్ చేశాను.
ఓకే.
అంటే మాకు ఆఫీస్ లో కొంచెం రిక్వైర్మెంట్ ఉందని చేసిండేప్పుడు, బట్ ఇట్ హ్యాస్ మల్టిపుల్ టూల్స్.
యా వెరీ టఫ్.
సో ఎనీవే ఐ కంటిన్యూడ్ విత్ SQL DB.
ఏం సాయినాథ్, ఇప్పుడు లైబ్రరీలో ఉన్నారా మీరు? టూ మెనీ బుక్స్.
ఇంటికి వచ్చేసానండి.
చాలా బుక్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా.
అదైతే వాల్ పేపర్ కాదండి, కరెక్ట్, నిజమే అది.
సాయి
వెంకటేష్,
ఎందుకు పాపం అందరు నేను ఆ వాల్ పేపర్స్ అన్ని డిఫరెంట్ వాల్ పేపర్ పెట్టాను అనుకున్నా.
వాల్ పేపర్ అనుకున్నావు కదా.
నాట్ మీ, అదర్.
సుబ్బు వాల్ పేపర్ బాగుంది కదా.
అవునా.
భయ ఇది వాల్ పేపర్ కాదు.
సుబ్బు, దట్ వాల్ పేపర్ మీన్స్ యువర్ హార్డ్ వర్కర్. దట్ ఆ చైర్ వేస్తున్న వాళ్ళంతా బాగా కష్టపడి చదివాలని అర్థం.
It belongs to my brother actually.
వాల్ పేపరే కదా.
Okay.
ఇట్స్ ఏ వాల్ పేపర్, నాట్ ఇట్స్ ఏ వాల్.
Yes.
ఈ చైర్ ఎవరైతే వాడతారో వాళ్ళు బాగా కష్టపడి చదువుతారని అర్థం.
Then Sai Kumar also. He is having the same color, different same chair.
Venkatesh, you also same, right?
He is a very good hard worker. Sainath.
Hi everybody. Sai Kumar, hi.
Hi, Clarisha.
Why are you sitting in the kitchen? By the way.
Sometimes angry.
There is a trick. Nobody will go there unless it's his mom.
Okay.
That's the main reason. I should try it sometime.
Oh, that's what all the background is, all kitchen items, na? That's what I'm asking.
Even if I want anything, I can get it. I don't need to go from camera.
Okay.
You are from Clarisha?
I'm from Hyderabad.
Okay.
Yeah. Secunderabad.
Okay.
Yeah.
రెండు ఒకటే లేండి ఇంకా.
What?
Pardon? What?
Both are same. Even you say Hyderabad, even you say Secunderabad. It's all Hyderabad. What to say?
Yeah. But Hyderabad is
Is it
little
twin?
far. main city that I'm living is Secunderabad. Hyderabad is capital of Telangana.
Oh,
In order to go to Hyderabad, it will take at least 1 hour, 1.5 hours. I'm living in Secunderabad.
Secunderabad is so far.
Yeah. If traffic is there, if any traffic jam or any kind of thing, then it will take some time to go. You are from?
You're from Kadapa.
Currently, I stay in Kadapa.
Kadapa. Okay. Sai Kumar, you are from?
I'm from Jammal Madugu.
What? Pardon?
Jammal
Jammal Madugu. It is Kadapa district. Jammal
Okay, I never heard it. So I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. Venkateshwaralu.
Hi RGV.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, Clarisha.
Yeah,
Hey,
hi.
Subbu.
Hello.
You are from? You are from?
I am from Kadapa. First, I'm staying in Hyderabad.
Oh, you stayed in Hyderabad. How was
Yes.
Hyderabad?
It's so beautiful.
Beautiful place.
Yes.
How was the raining?
Huh? What?
Yesterday it's raining, na? In
Yeah,
Hyderabad.
yeah. Too much rain. Whole
I'm
night. Whole night it was raining from evening.
I'm in Ashok Nagar.
Ashok Nagar. Okay.
No.
Near Shikun.
The artist crossroad. Do you know?
RTC Crossroad.
Artist Crossroad. Yes.
Okay, okay. I know RTC Crossroad, but I don't know Ashok Nagar.
Okay. And nearby artist crossroad.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
What else? Are you all working? You,
No. I'm
you three-
preparing competitive exam.
Okay.
Nowadays he come to Sikil sir.
Okay.
My friend suggested Sainath Reddy.
Okay.
That's why it come.
So you joined this course.
Yes. You?
I am homemaker, housewife.
Okay.
No, home minister you have to tell. That sounds good.
Yeah. Good morning,
Yeah,
Katie.
Keep the earphones.
Shall we get started, sir? I'm sorry.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, very good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Katie.
Very good morning, Larisha. Oh, thank you for renaming. Done. Okay, so let's get started. I think we have full house almost, except few people. Yeah. So you all know that today we are going to do 2008 installation. 8 or 8R2. 8R2, right? But Katie, how can you do that? 2005 installation was not successful. 2005 installation. Larisha, how can you do that? You removed your Apple earbuds. Done. Hey, any Apple fans here? I'm a crazy Apple fan. Raise your hand, please. I didn't see anyone raising hand. Thank you. Are we all Android family? No, Mahesh has raised his hand. Magesh has raised his hand. Only two. Magesh. Done. To be frank with you, I hate Apple. Only the eating apple is what I accept through, sir. But it's the bitten apple. The bitten apple I don't like.
This is nice trick, Katie. First you said you like.
No, I didn't say I like, sir. I said I don't like. I was asking who all likes Apple.
Okay.
I'm a strict hater of Apple. Just a minute, please. I'm sharing my screen now. Let me know once you see my screen shared.
Yeah, able to see.
Able to see. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay. So let's go with the installation. 2005. Let's complete 2005 installation. So before we complete 2005 installation, you saw an error yesterday. For the sake of seeing, if you want to see 2005 installation one more time, it shouldn't take long. Can we quickly go ahead and fatafat fast, because then we can start 2005 also. Let me take you to C drive, media folder. 2005 is ready, sir. I'll go to x64. I'll go to servers. See, this time now you can see fast, right? Because we know these things. And then I can start setup.exe, run as administrator. Let it fail. If it fails, let it fail, sir. Let us see how to fix it. There's a small, there's a small trick to solve this one, sir. I'll show you. Developer edition. Just a minute, please. Okay, next. Some checks will fail. That's okay. 2 to 3 checks. Yeah, checks will fail. IIS and ASP.NET. Chill, no problem. And then we are continuing, sir. First screen will be what? License.
Instance.
Yeah, license. Yeah, and now, of course, this you don't count as a screen, then it's okay, sir. Select the components, right? Database services and tools. Hit next. Yeah, instance, sir. I already have default instance, so we will prefer to install named instance. If you have any doubts, go to installed instances. I already have 3 instances installed in my system. Ignore them. Install SQL 2005. That's the instance name I'm giving. I already have a default instance. Service accounts, I'll select an inbuilt account called local system, which is Ramu Kaka, as we discussed yesterday, with full admin rights on the computer. And these service accounts don't have any usernames, don't have any passwords. We will talk about this little later, sir. Hit next. Windows authentication or SQL authentication, whichever you want. We are going with Windows authentication right now. Collation setting, which language you want? Latin English, which is Latin English, which is nothing but English itself. Hit next, sir. I don't want to do any reporting. Hit next, sir. Click on install. Does it take long to install, by the way? It's just a simple thing, right? Installing SQL Server. Shouldn't take long, sir. Okay, now it will fail. It's okay. It will fail. It's okay. Yeah, it failed. So if you all are okay, let it completely fail. I'll fix it and show you. Why am I showing this? So don't worry about this troubleshooting and all, how to do, why, no questions right now. We have one more session on that. Troubleshooting, we will discuss in detail there. But here, right now, there is an issue with this 2005 compatibility. Okay. There's a small trick we need to use. If we use that trick, we can fix this issue. So yes, SQL Server, technically speaking, SQL Server 2005 will not work on Windows 10. Is that clear? Technically speaking, it will not work. With some tricks, we can make it work. And that is what I'm going. Okay, anyway, so this installation failed. I showed you yesterday. Done. Ignore what I'm doing for a second. My only motto is to show you that it works. My only motto is to show you that it works. Bear with me, sir. Just a minute. Nothing. You didn't see anything. I didn't do anything. Okay. So I'm installing SQL Server one more time, sir. One last time. C:, media, x64, servers, setup.exe, run as administrator. So give me one last chance, one last time. I will prove you that it works. .NET Framework is already installed in my system. So in few minutes more, we are going to start 2008 R2. No dialogues, only action. Known things. Why should we talk one more time? Okay. Now what, sir? Please watch. See, native client error is resolved. Please see. Previously, native client installation failed, right? Now, sir, success. Okay, I fixed one issue. Okay, no problem. Let us see what happens. So installation is going on and on and on. All components are slowly installing one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. Come on. One by one. Still going on. Hey, I hope I told this to all of you, sir. I said that we have pCloud. pCloud is, I don't know if you know about pCloud. Let me take a minute to talk about pCloud, sir. pCloud is, I mean, even 1 minute. Yeah. So pCloud is just a storage, a hard drive, like an online hard drive. I mean, like you all use Google Drive, you all use OneDrive, you all use what is that? Something called iCloud, which we don't know about. So Apple iCloud, and you know, different cloud solutions that are there. So something like that. We also have a cloud solution which you can use as pCloud, and I mean, if somebody wants to explore this, you can use it, but it's expensive. This is the price, and this is for lifetime, sir. Now, question to all of you: can you guarantee your hard disk will be safe for lifetime? Definitely not. Will you lose data? Maybe yes. If you keep all your data in a something like this, a solution like this, 90 years, 95 years, at least 99 years is what they say. At least the hard disk which you keep, whatever data you keep, is accessible to yourself. And I'm not promoting any pCloud product here, but I'm just telling that I love this compared to, I have explored many cloud solutions like this, and I found this to be awesome. Daegu, and there are many other providers like that, OneDrive, Google Drive. Microsoft gives 1 terabyte of space, but they charge you every 1 year. In OneDrive, there's, I think, annual subscription. It's cheap, but annual subscription. This is like one-time thing. Sometimes they give offers also, sir, if you personally want to take it. Sometimes, you know, look at this. This is per month. Okay. So we have taken a pCloud solution. Okay. And sir, by the way, you can create a free account and get 10 GB and all that. So pCloud is a good option. I'm just telling you, if you're interested, go through it. So now in pCloud, we kept entire media there, and we are going to share the pCloud link with you, so you can access the media and download whatever you want. Newer versions don't download, sir. Older versions you download. I'll tell you when the lab starts, we will tell you how to do what to do. So now in pCloud, if I go to SQL Server link, if I go to SQL Server 2005, do you see something here? A fix?
Zip.
Yeah, it's a zip file, sir. Let me copy paste on my desktop. Just a minute. So it's a 26 MB file, sir. It's the crack. I mean, not a crack. I'm so sorry. It's a solution for the issue. So SQL Server 2005 is not getting installed in my Windows 10. SQL Server 2005 is not getting installed in my Windows 10. With this help of this zip file, sir, you can make it work. It's like a, what do you call that? Hacks, cracks. I don't know, any other words are there for this. So here is the file. Okay, I got it. I copied it. I'll take it to C drive. I'll get it to C drive. Keep it in the media folder just to show you. Okay, so there'll be no confusion. Okay, I'm keeping in the media folder. This is the file, sir. Now extract it. Extract it. Got it? Inside that, what do you have? sir, 32-bit and 64-bit again. Go to 64-bit. Inside that, what do you have? 2 files. Copy these 2 files, sir. Copy. Okay, I did. Or cut or copy, whatever you want to do. Now look at this, sir. It's saying that almost it completed the installation. Almost it completed. It is stuck at the last place. Okay, no problem. Go to, in my system, go to C drive, go to program files. That's where SQL Server is installed. I will show all these things later, sir. Please just watch how I'm fixing it. Program files, Microsoft SQL Server. I am installing which instance now, sir? 2005, right? I'll go to MS SQL 1, MS SQL. There is a folder called bin.n folder, and I'll paste inside that. There are already same 2 files. I'm overwriting these 2 files. I did it. Now, where I went, how I did, you ignore, sir. I'm just showing you the process of how to make it work. Later on, you will do this demo in the lab, not now. But can I click on retry now? I replaced those files and clicked on retry. Now your installation will succeed. So this is just a trick to make your 2005 work on Windows 10. Yes, it works with this small trick. That's all. Now, can we move to 2008 R2 installation, please? Successful, so it's done. Now it's successfully installed. Just a small trick. Did I confuse anyone?
No.
No, sir, don't need to worry how to do. How to do, we will see later. But in the initial phase, I just want to show you that it is possible. Yes, Sainath, you're saying something.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Go ahead, Sai.
No. You were asking, can we go ahead with the 2008?
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
you said yes. Okay, I'll move on, sir. So everyone, I mean, this is just a trick to make it work. When we do our lab, we will do that again. You will practice this also in your Windows 10 systems. And everybody's laptop should be, or a desktop, or whatever you're using, sir. It should be a Windows 10 system, preferably. Windows 10 Pro. If your laptops are not Windows 10 Pro, before next week, please get it ready, because next week onwards, we are starting lab, please. Okay, it's almost done. Just, by the way, can I run 2 installations? KD, let this run. Let's go and start 2008 R2 also. No, in a system only, in any system, sir, only 1 installation will run at a time. If I'm installing VLC player, I can't install 1 more software at same time. In a system, only 1 installation runs at a time. So yeah, let this finish. You have to wait for this to finish. Then we will start 8 R2. Meanwhile, sir, let me open my hard drive and copy 2008 R2. C drive, media. Old. Do I have 8 R2 in this? Yes, I have. Can I copy this? I will take it out, sir, and I'll keep it outside. This is 8 R2. But let this installation complete. Yeah, this is still going on.
One small sidetrack question. So installation will be done via Windows installer, right?
Always installation is done by any installation in Windows operating system is done via in Windows installer. Correct, sir. 5 point something recently.
Yeah. So uninstallation.
Same thing. Same. Uninstallation is also done by your Windows installer.
Yeah. Okay.
This is our version as we saw. MSI EXEC, everyone. MSI EXEC. When we run that, we get this Windows installer. I showed you last time also. MSI EXEC is the command to check what is the Windows installer version in your system. To all my friends, just a quick question, sir. To install SQL Server 2005, what is the Windows installer you need? Version number, minimum. Ayo. Oh,
3
3 or 3 something.
3.1.
3.1, correct. So I think I showed you on the notepad what all we need. What all we need. Did I keep it somewhere in the notepad? I think I did. Here. Where did I keep it? Oops. Maybe in a notepad and it's gone. Yeah, sir. What all things you need for SQL Server 2005 installation, sir? Let's orally talk while this is still going on. To install SQL Server 2005, first check your hardware, right? Your hardware processor should be more than 1 gigahertz. Processor speed should be more than 1 gigahertz, 0.1, 0.2. The RAM should be more than
1 GB.
How much, sir?
1 GB.
1 GB, perfect. 1 gigahertz processor speed. RAM should be more than 1 GB. And what else, sir? Hardware, let's talk hardware first. Hard disk, some space is required. That's okay. So yeah, 3 main things done. What else? Operating system next. Okay. If I'm installing SQL Server older version, I need older operating system. In modern operating system, it will not work. So it is not compatible. Okay, so I can give an example for this. I don't know if you can take it as an example. So SQL Server is older version. Operating system is modern version. I repeat, sir. SQL Server is older version. Operating system is modern version. It's something like my uncle and aunt. I want to give their example. So my uncle is 10 years younger. I'm sorry, elder to my aunt. 10 years elder to my aunt. My aunt is 10 years younger. My uncle is 10 years elder. So there's a 10 years gap here, right? Do you think this relationship will work, or will there be a challenges in this relationship, sir? Just asking. You will also have many of your.
It will work, but it will be challenges.
Oh, will be challenges. Okay, mindset issues and all that. Okay, yeah, it works. I mean, it works. My aunt is more mature than my uncle, actually, to be frank with you. So it depends. You cannot tell that. It's completely a stupid question, maybe from my side. But point is, compatibility really matters, and that's why for every marriage they normally say, right? They normally say that the bride and bridegroom should have a difference of how much? 4 years, 4 to 5 years max. Correct, right? That's what
Yes.
the ideal marriage norm is. Yeah. So that's all I'm just saying. Nothing much. Compatibility matters. So SQL Server, yes, I mean, mindset issues. I mean, let's say if there's 15 years gap, right? That's a generation gap, by the way. So that's why compatibility really matters. So you're installing SQL Server on a Windows operating system. Check that, check the compatibility. Few years above, few years is okay. But too much of 15 years gap, 20 years. So 2005 is getting married to 2000. When was Windows 10 released, sir? When was Windows 10 released? Anybody knows the date?
2016, I guess.
2015. Thank you. Very close. So yeah, so 2015, sir. So 2005 married to 2015, 10 years gap. So yeah, I'm just telling you. Okay, think about it. So nothing much. Moving on. Yeah, okay. This warning is okay, sir. Don't ignore this and disclose it. So your installation is successfully done, sir. Do you see that? It's successfully done. Do you see that? Okay, sir. Next part is tools, right? Tools. So click on start button, scroll down, sir. You will see SQL Server 2005 somewhere installed. See this? In SQL Server 2005, there is a tool called Management Studio. Can you see this one, sir? I will right click on Management Studio. I'll open this, or click on it, run as administrator, or open Management Studio, sir. Now, when I open Management Studio, this is how Management Studio looks. This is called as tools. What you installed is server, sir. Close, next, and finish. What you installed is server. This is called as tools. To access the instance, you need tools, right? And what is our instance name, sir? Computer name. By the way, computer name. First computer name. If I mention computer name, it's a default instance. Everybody agrees? If I mention computer name, my computer name is KDP-PC. So your computer name will be something
Yes.
So it's a default instance. Now, no. Ours is not default instance. Ours is named instance. So here you provide the instance name / what is my instance name, sir? SQL 2005, and I will connect to that. See, it connects. So now this is your SQL Server instance. I repeat one more time. So this is the instance. Okay. So for this instance, you have background processes? Yes. For this instance, do you have memory structures? Yes. In this instance, can I create databases? Yes. As of now, are there any databases? No. Can I create a database? Right click, new database, DB1, and press enter. Database 1 created, sir. Like this, you create as many databases as you want. So this is SQL Server. This is the instance. Inside the instance, you can have as many databases as you want. The highest limit is 32,767, please. So now, sir, do you understand what we are doing now? The whole purpose of installing in the last screen was to get this stupid thing. Now you play. So our course will, in the initial phase of installation, right? We will only do installations, but our end motto after completing all installations is we will start using Management Studio. So Management Studio is a wonderful tool Our day will start in Management Studio. Our day will end in Management Studio on the job. So this is a tool where we spend most of our time. Management Studio. Okay. So by the way, small information for all of you. SQL Server 2005. So in SQL Server 2005 only, they introduced something called Management Studio. Before 2005, there was no Management Studio. What is the previous version before 2005?
2000.
SQL Server 2000. There you don't have Management Studio, sir. The tool name was called as EM. EM means Enterprise Manager, some tool. I'll show you, sir. When time permits, I will definitely show you SQL Server 2000 also, if you are interested to watch it. First of all, 2005 itself is, that's it. And you still want to watch 2000, I have no issues to show. So can I close this one now? You got the purpose, right? So after installing, what we do, open Management Studio, like a tool called Management Studio, connect to the instance and play with it. Instance is ready. Inside instance, you can create databases. Oracle, in Oracle's case, one instance is equal to one database. That's it. Instance is equal to database. Database is equal to instance for them. For them, sir. For us, instance is equal to multiple databases. 1 second, sir. Okay, 1 second. I'm not talking like Omkar, but I mean it. So why I'm asked you to stop is, so we have a serious challenge here. Because Oracle copied us. Oracle one instance equal to Shiva is there in the class or not? 1 second, let me check. Now we have a debate with Shiva.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, Shiva. Did you copy us or not? Shiva, your voice is not clear, sir.
Is it audible now?
Yes, it is. Did you guys copy us or not? Multi-tenant, sir. Okay, so Oracle recently, not recently, or maybe a few versions back, they launched an architecture called multi-tenant architecture. Okay, just watch this one. Multi-tenant databases in Oracle. Okay, multi-tenant. So if you go to images, we thought Oracle was Ram and very good guys and all that, but they finally came to our track, sir. So now in Oracle instance, one instance can support multiple databases. Where is that picture? Yeah, this probably is a better picture in easy words. Ram, please, Shiva, please help me if I can. Any other better picture you want us to open?
I think this one.
Which one, sir? This one or
above one.
The one which I opened, is it better? Okay, sir, everyone, just watch this. Yeah, Oracle does something like this. They have created a multi-tenant architecture where in one Oracle instance, they can have multiple databases. Is that clear? Meaning, is it not our concept? Yeah, Shiva, sorry, no offense, but just telling, sir. So, Oracle was, yeah, please go ahead.
Copy of SQL, Microsoft.
Yeah, so it's a copy of SQL Server. So earlier Oracle instance, one instance is equal to one database, sir. Now SQL Server was multi-tenant already from a long time. Microsoft Oracle also is a multi-tenant now with one instance and multiple databases inside it. Everybody, hey, don't worry about how to implement all this. That's Shiva's work and Oracle team's work, sir, not our work. But I just wanted to tell you that Oracle has taken forefront like us and multi-tenant architecture they implemented. Did I confuse anyone or was it easy to understand? Thank you. So let's move on now. Whew, time to install 2008 R2. So you saw the purpose of why we are doing all this, and then let me go to media folder. Let us start the 2008 R2 installation. Done. Let me delete all this so that we save some space also. Okay. And I will move the 2005 things into the old folder so that it's not confused. Okay, so what are we installing now, sir? 8 and 8R2 are absolutely the same. So let us see. Let me extract 8R2 media. It's extracting, and then we will start the installation. Just a minute, please. Anybody have any questions meanwhile? Good.
Yesterday, KD, you asked me that how many instances Oracle support. So I told it was n number of instances. It was wrong actually. Okay. It was supporting 512 total altogether in 11G databases. 512 instances actually.
Such a 512 11G version databases in one machine, is it, sir?
Yeah. 512.
Still better than 50. So you are step ahead of us. So in one machine, SQL Server installs 50 instances. Guys, I mean, I hope you heard what Shiva said. In Oracle, in 11G or whatever version, Oracle supports 512 instances in one machine. Okay, everybody? Just for your information, if you're interested to know all this, hey KD, what are you teaching us, Oracle or SQL Server? Sir, I told you already, lot of concepts are there. As we go forward, we will learn SQL Server undoubtedly, but we will also compare with Oracle. Where do we stand? So by end of the course, I want to tell you that SQL Server, Oracle is undoubtedly a great software, no second thought about it, but SQL Server is nonetheless. In Oracle, unfortunately or fortunately, it's completely not graphical. It's more of command style, sir. I mean, Unix, you need to learn Unix. You need to learn, remember all the commands. It's Windows, whereas, Windows is comfort zone, graphical, quickly you can gain things. These are some advantages and disadvantages. Anyways, no comments on that. Let's move on. So 2008 R2 Media is here. If you all are okay, shall we proceed? Yes, everyone. Can I proceed? 2008 R2 Media is here, sir. Did you notice, KD, what happened? Servers and tools is gone. And KD, 32-bit, 64-bit Titanium, those folders are also gone. Yes, sir. They restructured the directory. They restructured the media. If you go to 8R2, you will see x86, which is 32-bit as you all know, and x64, which is 64-bit as you all know, and Titanium 64s. So what I'm saying is they merged the media into one folder. No servers, no tools. Server tools concept gone. Everybody okay with this, sir? Servers and tools concept is gone. No more servers folder, no more tools folder. Like 2005. Okay, done. So without wasting any time. And by the way, KD, what is there in the Redist folder? I told you, right? So Redist folder contains latest .NET frameworks. So I can start the installation straight away, but no, I don't want to start the installation straight away. I'll tell you why, sir. Because again, just like 2005, shall we write down the list of things that are required? Hardware and software requirements. May I write down?
Yeah, please. I think it is a checklist, right, KD, you are saying?
Checklist, sir. Yes, exactly. Before installing, let's check that do I have all the hardware or not.
Yeah. That will really help. That will really help.
And it's already there, sir. I'll open the notepad. Just a moment.
Yes.
Everyone, I'm just opening the content. Give me a moment, please. Yeah. Hey, I've been getting questions about, so a couple of questions I need to answer. Geeta, I don't know, Geeta or somebody else asked me this question and I said, we'll talk tomorrow and we missed it. Okay. Done. Sir, if you can see here on my screen now, I'm in the content, and may I open the hardware and software requirements file? Oops. Just a minute. Yeah, there you go. So look at this. For SQL Server 2005, hardware requirements are 1 GB RAM recommended. Minimum you remove, sir. Minimum is waste. Okay. Processor speed should be how much? 1 gigahertz or more. Correct, right? And software requirements are what, sir? Windows installer must be minimum 3.1. .NET framework must be 2.0. This was the hardware and software, and operating system also. Make sure it is nearby, 4 to 5 years old, not too old, right? And that's also. These are the 2005 requirements. Now let's go to 2008 and 8R2. Processor speed, minimum 1 gigahertz and recommended is how much, sir? 2 gigahertz. Okay. My laptop is how much? MS Info 32. My laptop is 1.9 gigahertz. Got it, sir? Minimum, okay? Minimum is 1 gigahertz, so I'm still applicable. Recommended is 2 gigahertz, so I have 1.9. It's okay. RAM is minimum 1 GB. Recommended is how much, sir? 4 GB. .NET framework is 3.5 not 2.0. 3.5 SP1, Service Pack 1, also called as 3.5.1. And Windows installer you require is 4.5, sir. And PowerShell 2.0. What is PowerShell? I'll talk in a moment. Please wait. So are you clear? So these all do you have? These all do you have? So yes, KD .NET framework. How to check, sir? Reg regedit, go to HKey local machine. I think it is software, and under software it is Microsoft. Under Microsoft it is .NET framework. If I expand .NET framework, I can see my versions. So yes, I am seeing latest 3.0 and 4.0. So I will have 3.5 for sure. So I have 3.5.1. KD, if it is not there, then what to do? You tell me the answer, sir. If .NET framework is not installed in my system, what to do?
It will be there in installation.
It's there in the Redist folder. So go to Redist folder. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Go to Redist folder, .NET frameworks. Here it is, 3.5. Just double click it and install it. .NET framework will be installed. Now I'm double clicking. So now I'm installing it. I already have actually, but I'm just showing you how to install. I just clicked it.
Okay.
So if you don't have .NET framework 3.5, no problem. You can install it from your Redist folder if it is not there, sir. Got it? So, okay, cool. KD, .NET framework, what else? Oops, where is it? .NET framework, what else? Windows installer 4.5. Array, I have 5.0 something, sir. So I have highest. And then PowerShell 2.0. So PowerShell is nothing but all Microsoft people are nowadays, last 10 years maybe, Microsoft has implemented, let's see, when was PowerShell created? So PowerShell is nothing but a one second, please. 2006. Okay, so it's been many years. PowerShell came many years back. So PowerShell is nothing but programming. You can do anything that you want with PowerShell. So PowerShell meaning I want to install. So everybody, please listen. I want to install 50 instances. 50. Normally, what you need to do? Tikku. Next. Like that, you need to do 50 times. Yes or no?
Yes.
50 times. It's patience.
Yes.
There is a lot of effort.
Yes.
Yeah. Let's do one thing. Script it. Okay. Write a code where it will automatically install. Okay. It may take some time. You take a break and come back, sir. Your work is done by PowerShell. PowerShell is a scripting language. So anything that you want to automate, anything can be automated, sir. Sir, I am sleeping. Okay, I am downloading a movie or something. Okay, nowadays download players have this, but sir, I am downloading some movie and I don't have patience to wake up to it. It will take 10 hours or 12 hours to download the movie. Okay, and after downloading, I am going out, and after going out, I want to come back. I will be back after 2 days, for example, and I want my download to finish. What I'll do, sir? I'll keep the download and do dash. Put a PowerShell script. A day later, it will automatically shut down my system. So sky is the limit. Anything that you want to do in Windows can be automated with PowerShell. Anything can be done. So now, why SQL Server requires PowerShell now? Microsoft wants to integrate. Microsoft wants to put PowerShell in everything. So PowerShell 2.0 is compulsory. That's all. It's nothing much. PowerShell is a programming language, scripting language. So PowerShell is required for installation. So these three things, and I said actually all the three things.
From PowerShell, from where we get KD?
PowerShell comes with Windows by default, sir.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Now, if you want me to show you whether I have PowerShell or not, start PowerShell. So look at this. I already have a PowerShell. You will also have, by the way, in Windows 7 also you will have. Lavanya, can you please check in your system? Type start. And type start and type PowerShell in start button and just tell me if you got something like this. If you have, you have, right? Yeah, every Windows operating system internally will have PowerShell. Don't need to download anything.
I do have, yeah.
Perfect, sir. Now, 1 second. Can I show you something? I'll open the PowerShell script. This one's ISC. It's opening my PowerShell prompt. Just showing, okay? Not troubling anyone. Just showing. Sir, I want to check version. Which version? PowerShell has versions 1.02. 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. PowerShell has versions, sir.
KD, is it compatible with all the SQL Server versions?
Which one? Which one, sorry?
PowerShell?
PowerShell?
Is it compatible with all the versions I'm asking? The
No. See, PowerShell for 2008 R2, PowerShell 2.0 is required. For next SQL servers, right? Future versions, latest PowerShell is required, like 3.0, 4. Like that. So depending on if you are in latest SQL server, latest PowerShell is required. If you are in old SQL server, old PowerShell is required. Like that. Did I answer the question or no?
But I need to check the version of my computer.
You want to check what?
I need to check my what is the version in my computer, KD? How it is supposed to
PowerShell version, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just showing the same thing. 1 minute, please. So, just a minute. Hey, sir, 1 second, please. KD, are we wasting time? Definitely not. I'm just showing you how to. Where is the command for PowerShell version? I missed it. PS dollar $PS version table. Okay, so this is the command. I should have kept the dollar first. Can you see now what is my PowerShell version? 5.1. So I am at the latest. So Lavanya, you also can open PowerShell. Type start, open PowerShell. Whatever comes here, click any PowerShell, it's okay. And type this command. Open PowerShell. Anyone, if somebody wants to check this, open PowerShell, whatever PowerShell you have. Okay. Now paste that command $PS version table and just press enter. It will tell you what version of PowerShell you are using. Do you guys want to comment which version of PowerShell you are using? Lavanya, can you please tell me in your system once you run it?
Okay.
Everyone else, anybody wants to tell? Please
It's
tell.
2.1.
Bharat, you said 2.0, sir?
KD, it's 2.0.
Yeah, 2.0.
Okay, that means you are using old operating systems.
Today it is 5.1.
5.1, Naveen.
KD, it's
2.0, old one. Windows 7, right?
Windows
So mine is also same as Lavanya. It's
Absolutely,
2.0.
it's old system, sir. It's old system, clear. I mean, with that we'll understand. We just need to install Windows 10 now. Yes, sir.
5.1.
5.1, perfect.
5.1 master.
5.1 done. I think then you're all on Windows 10 then, mostly. So Windows 10 will have 5.1 itself by default. Okay, done. So is PowerShell compulsory for SQL Server? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
If it is no, sir, I would not have spent so much time on this screen for sure. You would have gone by now. So yes, it is important. PowerShell is compulsory. So thank you for your patience, everyone. $PS version table. Just remember this command if you want to. Let me write it. Yeah. Somebody is making a note. You can. Okay. So now let us go ahead and start the 2008 R2 installation. So can I start setup, sir? Yeah, I'm sure my system supports all this. I'm double sure and run as administrator. So 2008 R2, please tell me one last time quickly.
Master, in PowerShell, how to come out from the screen? Exit.
Just close the window, sir. Exit also, you can type exit also. EXIT. So question to all of you. Oops, 1 second. Question to all of you. What are the requirements, hardware and software requirements? Hardware.
Processor and RAM.
A processor is how much, sir? 2 gigahertz. Recommended. RAM is how much, sir?
RAM 4 GB.
4 GB RAM. Perfect.
4
2
GB.
gigahertz, 4 GB RAM. And then a hard disk and all you leave. Operating system, better compatible one. And what are the other things, please? .NET Framework. 3.5.1, or you can call it as 3.5 SP1. Okay, and then sir, it's Windows installer. 4.5 Windows installer, and PowerShell 2.0. So now again, KD, now it's okay. After 15-20 days, will we remember all this? I mean, we'll be in another topic, right? We may remember, we may not remember. I completely agree. So, but one thing you will remember for sure that, okay, version number, at least if you don't remember, 3 things are compulsory that you will remember, right, sir? Windows installer, .NET Framework, PowerShell. At least that you remember is sufficient. In interview, nobody will ask you, this version number, this one and all that. So that's for our knowledge we are learning. If you are remembering it, salute your brain. I would not remember. I will also forget, sir. For 13 years, I've been training, so I remember them on fingertips, but not necessary that you should have it on your fingertips. Okay, done. So what happened? Did you notice? Oh, wow. So I would say wow, because 2008 and 8R2 are a wow installation. Because they gave us something called installation center. They said, hey, we are making your installation more interesting. They launched something called installation center. This was not, sir, remember all the 2005 screens once. They look completely stupid and old style, old school, old style. This is like modern, like this looks better. So you will be surprised to see 2008 was a game changer again, but 2005 was the platform. Okay. This looks nice, or do you like it or you don't like it? But first enjoy it. So you just start watching it, you'll understand what it is. They have split the installation into different tabs. First tab is planning phase. Planning. First tab is planning phase. Next tab is the actual installation phase. Third tab is maintenance if you have any. Fourth is tools and resources and advanced, and we will talk about all this in future a lot, sir. For now, let's only go with planning phase. Do you see hardware and software requirements, please? I will click on that, sir. The moment I click on it, a website should open. See that? Look on my other screen. Website should open. Got it? It opens hardware and software requirements. So earlier, hardware and software requirements were present inside your 2005 media. Got it? Now they made it online. Okay. If you're interested, scroll down and check the hardware and software 3.5 and all that. Whatever we discussed just now. Okay, done. Close. What else? Security documentation. Sir, I mean, leave all this. What's this? 14 checks. In 2005, we had 14 checks. Click it, sir. Click it. And you will run those checks. And let's see how many checks they are this time. In 2005, there were 14 checks. In 2008 and 8R2, how many checks we will see? But KD, in 2005, checks were coming automatically. Here, I have to click it. Yeah, you have to click it. So it's doing all the checks on my system. How many checks are there, sir? 14 became 15. And other than that, nothing fancy. Same checks. Oh, wow. KD, all green. Yeah, all green. Happy. Let's move on. That means, see, there was a compatibility issue. That's what I was telling, sir. 2005 is an old one. There's a compatibility issue. Here, it's okay now. So checks I have done. I went into the planning phase. Shall I go into the installation section now? And now go to the installation. And do you see? So there are different options here. First one is what?
New installation or
New
add
installation features. Or add existing features. We are not adding anything. First time we are installing. So click on the new installations. So the look and feel changed between 2005 and 2008 R2. The look and feel changed. So you come here, click on installation and start installation. And so don't worry about remaining all options. There's a lot of time. We will learn all that gradually. It's clustering and all that. Okay, done. So again, see now checks are happening one more time, sir. Double checking. Fine. See, operating system it verified. It's checking whether you are an admin, you have admin rights or not. It's checking and everything. I mean, compatibility is, I mean, SQL Server and Windows are compatible or not. Everything it is checking, sir. So luckily all green, moving on. So can I close the installation center now? Anyways, you clicked on new installation. We can close. If you don't want to open installation center, close it. Installation center is only to launch the installation. Once you launch it, you can close it. I closed it. See, now this is how your installation starts. So cool. What is this edition now? What you are installing? Developer? Is it developer? It's not mentioned anywhere. Okay, hit next, sir. What is it? Developer. I told you, right? It's developer. So I'm giving you all developer editions only, sir. So you can play and there are no issues. No licensing issues. Got it? I'm giving mostly all developer. Yes, please.
Sorry to interrupt. My system got restarted. Can you please show me the from
Which
first?
one? Show what? Sorry.
How to install it into
Oh, okay,
2008?
1 second. Guys, all of you, with give me a few quick minutes. I'm just signing out and rejoining. Don't mind. I mean, I'm just
Sorry
reopening
for
the
the
installation.
disturb.
Sure, Lavanya, 1 second. No problem. Quickly, I'll do it. C drive, media, 2008 R2, setup, run as administrator. It's opening. You know what opens first? Everybody knows, right, sir? Installation center. Almost there. Yeah, once installation center opens, don't do anything. So guys, I mean, it's not necessary to click on system configuration check also, sir. No need to, not required. You can directly go to installation, click on new installation, checks will automatically run again. You don't need to do anything. So I'm running it now. The checks are running now. Please bear for some time. There you go. Just a minute. Instantly. This is what Lavanya I did when you were off the class. Okay, so checks are automatically running. Okay. May I close the installation center now? Anyways, installation is going on. Installation center is like a launch pad. You just launch your installation, close the installation center, not required. So it's just like a launch pad. Okay, now installation is started. Okay, here you go. This is your product key. Hit next. Remember, this is a developer edition. I accept. License agreement. Hit next. Setup support files are getting installed. So native client setup support files .NET framework, same screen. Look and feel has modified, got changed. Are you all okay, or are you seeing something complex? I don't think it is complex. Same screens here, sir. Now next will be instance name, service account. Are same screens. What you saw, same screens. Give it a moment, sir. So I successfully installed one 2005. And you know the answer, how to do it. There's a small trick. With that trick, we installed 2005. So I already installed 2005. Now we are installing what, sir? 2008 R2. Tomorrow I'll show you. Tomorrow is Friday, right? Yeah, tomorrow I'll show you 2012 and 14. By the way, 12 and 14 are absolutely same. Same. Okay, let us first finish this and then we will talk about 12 and 14. Same screens, what you saw in 2005, nothing fancy, except small changes. Yeah, done, sir? Watch this. Almost there. Please have patience. There you go. Yeah, done. Please watch this. Yeah. So, I mean, we have a warning. Firewall warning. Okay, we will manage this later. So ignore the firewall warning. Can I hit next? So in the 2005, all 14 checks finished at one shot. Agreed? In 2008 and 8R2, when you are installing SQL Server, the checks are happening at different phases. First 7 checks happened, sir. In the previous screen, you saw 7 checks happened. In this screen, you saw 10 checks happening. 7 plus 10, 17. Okay, hit next. Okay, now, sir, you will see this is a completely new screen. No worries, but not to worry also, because you are doing what, sir? You are selecting components. What are the components? Database services, analysis services, reporting services, and integration services. So you just hit next. Don't worry about Power Pivot, all these options, sir. By the way, KD, what if I select the last option, sir? All features, meaning it will install database services, analysis services, reporting services, integration services, everything it will install. No, 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 no. We don't want everything, sir. We just want what we want. We will select. So hit next. Yeah. Again, sir, look and feel change. Database services. Can you see this? And I really want you to select replication. What is replication? You will come to know in future. So engine means main database services, sir. Do you want analysis services? If you want, ticket. Do you want reporting services? If you want, ticket. Do you want integration services? If you want, ticket. But sir, I don't want you to do all that. Only database services replication sufficient. And I want you to tick client tools connectivity. And the purpose of client tools connectivity is it will install some tools for connectivity purpose. And I also want you to install what's a client tools backward compatibility for older versions to connect some more tools. So by the way, in any company, so you join any organization, in any office, when we install SQL Server, we select engine, we select replication, we select client tools connectivity, and client tools backward compatibility. These are compulsory. You have to select them. And if you want to ask our friends who have been working, they will tell. So please correct me, Sainath and Sai and everybody else who are working. Can you?
Yes, KD. Yes, KD. We'll select those.
It's compulsory. So these all what we select by default. If you are installing 2005, we select this by default. And sir, now wait. We also have Management Studio. Without Management Studio, how can you expect? So without Management Studio, how can you connect to SQL Server? So you can have Management Studio also. So I'm selected Management. But remember, sir, this Management Studio is 2008 R2's Management Studio. Previously, I have in my system, click on Start, go to 2005. I have 2005 Management Studio also. Do you agree? So 2005 Management Studio is different. And 2008 and 8 R2 Management Studio is different. KD, can I use 2005 Management Studio to connect to the 2008 latest ones? You can, but some features will not work. So don't do that, sir. For 8 Management Studio you use. For 5 Management Studio you use. KD, can I use 2008 Management Studio, latest one, to connect to 2005? Yes. All features will work. Don't connect with old Management Studio to new instance, sir. That's a bad idea. Okay, thank you. Hope you understood. So what all I ticked. Anybody have any questions here? I'll wait for a second, sir. Engine, replication, client tools connectivity, client tools backward compatibility, Management Studio. So tomorrow when you also practice, you will do the same thing in 2008 and 8 R2. That's all. If you say yes, KD, go ahead, then only I'll hit next, sir.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yes, RGV, you're saying something?
Client tools SDK.
Client tools SDK is not required. SDK is nothing but standard development kit. So we are not any developers to ask for a development kit. So for us, it's not required. If a developer wants to do it, then it's okay. But for us, not required. We don't select SDKs typically. SDK is nothing but Java SDK is what they say. Java standard development kit. I mean, if you want proof, I can show you if you don't agree with my words. Very standard development kit. Standard development kit. Okay, but SDK is nothing but standard development kit. Sir. That's it. Okay, done. Can I? We're not doing it, RGV. So now, can I hit next, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. We will move on. So hit next. Oh, standard nice. Software development kit, I think. I'm so sorry, sir. SDK is software development kit. I missed the word. Okay. So again, some more checks it is doing. Are crazy, KD? My God, too many checks by now. 19 checks, 10 checks, 7 checks. Let it do whatever checks it wants. Hit next, sir. Okay. What is the screen, please? All known screen to you also. Default instance. Named instance.
Yes.
I can't install default. So by the way, Lucky, in 2005, you had to click on installed instances. So in 2005, you have to click on, I repeat, sir, in SQL Server 2005, you have to click on installed instances. Then only you will see the list of instances installed in your system. Here, luckily, everything is visible here itself. So just watch. Everyone, so are you seeing this? Because I need your observation, very, very important. This because it's a very crucial screen here. Everybody, while you are watching this one, sir, let me show you something interesting. Yeah, now. So these are all my instances. This is 2000 INST 2K19.3, correct? This is INST 2K19. So I'm sure you guys are smart. By looking at the names, you are guessing the version numbers, right? So you think that this is 19 and 19. You're right, sir. These both are 19 only. How do I know? By looking at the version number. 15 dot means 2019, sir. So KD, in your system, what is MS SQL Server?
Default instance.
Default instance. And the remaining two? Named instance. The first one is a 2005 we did few minutes back, sir. So in my laptop now, how many instances are there as of now? 4. So, and you can see their version numbers, which edition they are. All are developer editions, sir. Version numbers are here. 9 means 2005. 10 means 2008. And 8 are 2. 11 means 2012. 12 means 2014. 13 means
16.
Sir, 8.0 means what? SQL Server 2000, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 7.0 means what? SQL Server 7. Okay. Now 9.0 means what? SQL Server 2005. 10.0 is nothing but both SQL Server 2008 and 8R2. Both are called as 10.0, sir. 11.0, if you want to make a note, you can, sir. 11.0 is SQL Server 2012. 12.0 is SQL Server 2014. 13.0 is SQL Server 2000. Sir, all these version numbers we already marked up. So somebody is not on mute. SQL Server 2017, sir. And 15.0 is nothing but SQL Server 2019. If somebody wants to make a note, you can, sir, or take a screenshot or whatever you want to do.
Kid, if I'm not wrong, 10.0 is SQL Server 2008 and 10.5 is 2008 R2.
Exactly. So actually 10.5 is 2008 R2 and 10.25 is Azure earlier. Exactly, 100%. Okay, sir. So now why I'm saying all this is by looking at the version numbers of 15, 15, 15 and 9, you understand that, okay, I have one 2005 and I have 3 2019 instances. So, I mean, I'm not wasting time, but we are going on. Just bear with me for a few more minutes. If you're done, can we move on? I got a mango smoothie today. Normally I drink, I don't know if you observed during our class, I drink Java. Java is Java only. What English word Java?
I thought coffee that.
No, sir, I don't drink coffee. I don't drink tea. I have never tasted coffee tea in my life till now. I don't know how both taste.
Oh my God. Never tasted.
Really?
Promise, I've never tasted coffee tea till now.
Yeah, I'm in your club.
Except coffee bite chocolate. I think coffee bite chocolate I ate, and that's how I know, okay, coffee may taste like this. So I never tasted. Okay, what is Java? Java in Telugu, it's called as Java, what we drink.
Partridge. Partridge.
Is it?
They call partridge.
Is it Rag Java?
Ragi. Oh God, Java in Telugu means something else came up. So yeah, I mean, this is a juice. I mean, ragi Java. I mean, how do I? Any English word for this?
No, partridge. They call it partridge.
Is it?
Yeah.
Partridge. Okay, got it. Porridge is there. I don't know. Porridge is what? Okay, done. So anyway, so you understand this ragi? Everybody understands, right? Ragi mixed with, yeah, ragi. Everybody understands. Okay.
Yeah.
Done. So today I got something different. So.
But how come not even once you have got a chance to taste coffee or tea, KD?
Oh, 1 second. So let's ask any of our friends who have, if anybody can give me company here. How many of you have never tasted coffee tea till now?
Me.
There you go. We have Geeta. There you have Chiranjeevi. 2 more people. So Bharat, I think I'm not alone here.
No comments then. Yeah.
Anyone else? Bharat and Geeta have Chiranjeevi and Geeta have raised hand.
Even I don't drink coffee and tea, but whenever you go with friends, no, you have to give them company. At least that, no.
Got it, sir. So who have not tasted till now? I don't know how it tastes till now. So Geeta,
yeah. How it is, how it's possible actually.
There you go. 1, 2, 3. 3 people in the class right now, sir. Okay, done. So let's get back. So if versions you have made a track, let's move on. Can we start now? So this is an important screen, and after that, there's nothing great. Only one screen. So default instance or named instance. As you know, Array, you're already seeing here, the second one in the list is nothing but a default instance. So I have to type as named instance, and I'll call it as SQL Server 2008 R2. This is our instance name. KD instance name is easy, but in 2005, there was only 2 screens. But now here, damn, I see a lot of an extra option called instance ID. Sir, in 2005, there was no concept called instance ID. In 2008 and 8R2 and all the modern versions from here, right? All the modern versions, they introduced a concept called instance ID. Oh, that means, KD, in 2005, you don't have a concept called instance ID? No, we had. So if you can see here, instance ID in 2005 is what? MSSQL dot 1. So in my laptop, that is the first 2005 instance I have installed. So first instance will be called with ID 1, sir. If I install one more instance, okay, let me take you to C:. Let me take you to C drive, program files. So you will be familiar with all this path and all. Takes relax. When you do the lab, you will be familiar. So go to program files. Go to, where is Microsoft SQL? Microsoft SQL Server is a bad. Okay, here it is. Microsoft SQL Server. Can you see in my system, sir? How many instances are installed? 4. Perfect. 4. All are here only. So did you notice for 2005, what is the ID? .1. If I install first 2005 instance, it will be called as .1. If I install second 2005 instance, it will be called as .2, .3, .4, .5. So all the consecutive, that means in 2005 also, there was instance ID concept. But ID was randomly generated, sir. Not randomly, I'm sorry. Sequentially generated. First one, second one, third one, fourth one. So that's how 2005. So instance ID is not a new concept. Instance ID is an old concept, but in 2005, there was no visibility. Automatically SQL Server picks .1, .2, .3. Is that clear, sir? Anybody have any questions here? So KD, then what happened in 2008 and 8R2? Why did they introduce something called instance ID? They introduced instance ID because, sir, can I ask you all one simple question? Instance name is 2005, right? Okay. Instance name is what, sir? SQL 2005, instance name. If I go to my computer, C drive, program files, Microsoft SQL Server, By looking at this, can you tell what is that instance name? No. Sir, dot one is mentioned here. Dot one. That means you know that it is first instance. But by looking at this folder, can you tell what is the instance name? No.
No, we can't.
Dot two, dot three, dot four. If you have, you only know the ID, sir. You don't know the instance name. So people were getting confused and all that. See, now look at this, sir. By looking at this, can you tell me something? So by looking at this, I can definitely tell you something, that this is MS SQL 15. 15 means 2019. And by looking at the second part of it, I can tell that it is a default instance. Oh, 2019 default instance. Oh, 2019 INST 2K193. Oh, 2019 INST 2K19. So this is the instance name. This is the version. So that's why, sir, they did not bring a new concept, but they said that, hey, now onwards, don't call instance ID with 1, 2, 3, 4. Whatever is your instance name, right? The same you can give for ID. KD, I want to change it. I will put ID at the last, or I will change the name, your choice, sir. But normally in real scenarios, what we follow is instance name will be ID as well. So ID is nothing but just a unique name you are giving for your instance. But KD, SQL 2008 R2 is also a unique name only. Fine. So that is why, sir, keep ID and name the same. If you can see in the previous instances, you will see the same. Look at this. INST 2K19 is my instance name, sir. And what is the ID? INST 2K19. INST 2K19.3 is the instance name. What is the ID? INST 2K19.3, sir. So this is just a small change. And for default instance, what is the instance ID? MS SQL Server.
Master, MS SQL, it will take by default ID name.
Yes, it takes by default.
Okay.
For default instance, MS SQL Server is by default. Any other questions, sir? Okay, good. So can I hit next?
Kedi, 1 second, please. In 2005, name and instance name and ID can't be same, Kedi?
No, in 2005, first of all, we don't have a choice, Lavanya. We
default
don't have a
is
choice.
still
Instance ID is picked by SQL Server itself, like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
2008 R2. They wanted folders to be easily identifiable. So they gave this new concept called instance ID, and it's recommended practice to see now. Did you notice one thing? Whatever I type on the top will come at the bottom. See once SQL 2008 R22 example. And if I click somewhere, 1 second. No, okay, 1 second. Let me go back. Hit next. SQL 2008 R22. So it comes up actually when I do the first time. It will copy as it is. Whatever you type here, it will copy automatically the same thing there. And now your instance ID will be called as like this. So instance ID, instance name are same, sir. Just for folders, right, to identify, just for folders to make it easy, it has been given like that. Let's not blast our brain more, leave it. Simple concept. Instance ID in 2005 was 1, 2, 3, 4. Instance ID in newer versions is whatever is your instance name, your instance ID also will be the same. Did I confuse? Did I clarify? Any questions?
No questions.
Anyone else have any other questions, sir? Yeah, thank God. I thought there will be more confusions here, but there is. Once you practice, that will be easy, much more easy, sir. Just need to practice. Okay, hit next. Rest all are, sir, done. Chill, relax, all finished. Nothing, no new screens. Already familiar stuff. Yeah, this is disk space requirement. How much hard disk space is required? Space is available. That's why you got the green tick. Hit next. What is this? You know this.
Yeah, SQL Server agent.
Servants of SQL Server or service accounts of SQL Server. What shall I pick here, sir? KD, that view is different. Okay, that view is different. This view is different. So what, sir? Down arrow. What is this?
System, local system.
Local system, local service. Yesterday we saw 3 inbuilt servants, right? In Windows operating system, inbuilt service
Yes,
accounts.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So NT authority is a tag name. Before the service account name, NT authority comes. So NT authority system is nothing but local system. NT authority network service is nothing but local service, network service, normal network service. Okay, what do you want me to select now?
Local system.
Or you want to type your own, go for browse. I will explain you later. This part I'll explain later, sir. So now down arrow and select what? NT
Local
authority system,
NT
because as you know it's Ramu Kaka selected. Now that is for agents, sir. Then for your main service, what? Same story for this also, NT authority system. So for SQL Server purpose, you are selecting NT authority system temporarily, sir. In future, we will create our own service accounts. In future, we will create our own service accounts. Till that time, please have patience. Till then, let's continue. So service account screen, any questions? Look and feel changed. Concept is same. I am selecting NT authority system here. Next. Oh, by the way, sorry, sir.
Startup.
We will discuss this a little later. We will talk a little later in the next versions. Okay, now go to collation settings, please. So what is the collation? May I request you all of you to make a note of this collation settings, a default collation setting. SQL underscore, Latin 1 underscore, general underscore, CP1 underscore, CI underscore AS. This is the default collation setting of SQL Server. Yesterday, whatever was selected, that one, sir. That is a default collation setting of SQL Server. And I would be happy if you can mug it up. Mug up if required. SQL underscore, Latin 1 underscore, general underscore, CP1 underscore, CI underscore AS. See, I mugged it up. I didn't even see the screen, sir. It would be good because in future, this is a default collation setting of SQL Server. Lot of your customers will be using it. You should be having in your mind registered because this is the famous one. Famous language, English, default. Okay, the worst part here is nowhere it says English. I understand your frustration, but it's English only. SQL underscore, Latin 1 underscore, general underscore, CP1 underscore, CI underscore, AS. It's English itself. Okay, so last 2 minutes done. Let's go for the installation now. Okay, may I proceed?
Yes.
Perfect. Done. So hit next. Yeah. So Windows authentication. SQL authentication, what do you want? We want Windows authentication. Okay. So this section that you are seeing here, right? This section. My sincere request, click on add current user.
Nandal, N-A-N-D-Y-A-L.
Sorry, please repeat again.
Somebody is not on mute. Who is not on mute? I'll put Sainath, I think. Yeah. Okay. So now, small request till that time. Click on add current user. Click on add current user. What is this add current user? We will discuss in security. Is that okay? So this one I can explain now also. But again, it's unnecessary confusion, sir. Anyways, we have to discuss this topic in security topic. I will show you one more time. Till that time, blindly just click on add current user. I know that I would not normally say blindly click, but in this case, yes. In security, we will have a detailed discussion, sir. Okay. Now, then go to data directories. So in add here, so did you understand? Did you notice one more thing? Entire installation got modified. Got it? Everything got changed, sir. Between 2005 and next versions, installation completely got modified. That's okay. If we practice a little, concepts are same, screens are same. Nothing changed from the screen side. Okay, done, sir. So account provisioning. I selected Windows authentication. Clicking this is compulsory. If I don't click it, sir, it will not allow you to hit next. Understood? So you have to click on add current user. What is this? We will discuss later. And then, sir, data directories. Data directories is nothing but where do you want to keep your databases? Do you want to keep your databases in C drive? Do you want to keep your databases in D drive? Location. No, I want to keep everything in C drive itself. Then okay, leave it. Don't do anything for now. In future, we will see what they are. As of now, I am leaving everything in C drive itself, sir. I have two drives in my system. I have two drives. One is C drive, D drive. This is P cloud. You'll ignore. So there's C drive, D drives. I have two drives. I can keep it in D drive also. See, I can change it and keep D also. Got it? But I'm not doing it. So I'll keep it in C itself for time being. Okay. File stream, another important feature. File stream option you did not see in 2005, right? Nowhere. This is a completely new screen. So can you please tell me till now, between 2005 and 2008 R2, what all things you saw new till now? First one. First of all, media got rearranged. Do you agree? Yes, sir?
Yes.
Media got rearranged, meaning inside the media, Itanium 64, x86, x64, those folder structures got changed. No servers and tools. Is that the first difference? Perfect. Second one. Installation center is new. Earlier installation center was not there. Now we have installation center. Third, sir. Checks here and there change. That's okay. But one of the important things, instance ID is a new option. Instance ID concept was not there earlier. It was .1, .2, .3 like that. But now you can type an ID for your instance. Normally instance name is equal to instance ID. Both are one and the same. Instance ID is a new concept. What else, sir? Under account provisioning, service accounts. In service accounts, nothing new, but you need to do a drop down and select NT authority system. That's a small change, nothing new. Same concept. In you can select Windows authentication or SQL authentication you want, sir. But add current user is a new thing, and I agree with you. And data directories, you can change the paths if you want. I don't want to store in C drive. I want to store in some other drive where I have space. You can do that. This is not there in 2005. File stream is a completely new option in 2005. So what is file stream? What is file stream? Simple. So there is a college. In the college, we have nearly around 10,000 students. Listen carefully, a small example I will tell. In college, there are 10,000 students. So college has student database with them, their phone numbers, their email IDs and everything, right? They have the database. They also, college decided that for every student, we will record a very high definition video. In that video, they will talk about themselves. Like a quick 1 minute, they have to tell about themselves. College initiatives. Why? So that when placement companies come up, right? They wanted to play this video and show them that this student, this video, this is how they speak. Initial filtering will happen there itself. It's a college idea, okay? Just a college idea. So now they started shooting videos of everybody. High definition video, I said, sir. Got it? That means video size will be big. Perfect. Now, where will they store these videos normally, sir? Everything should be stored in database itself. Database, it should be stored in SQL Server. Okay. So yes, the video will be stored inside SQL Server databases. Now, what happens, sir? When placement companies come up, right? They have to open this and play for them. They have to play the video of the student. So when they play the video is stored inside SQL Server. The video is stored inside SQL Server. So whenever you play the video, first you have to open SQL Server database, then pull the video out and play the video. So what happens, sir? If it is a high definition video, big in size, the video will not play properly. It will buffer slowly and it will not give that effect. So storing videos inside database is a bad idea because they are high definition videos. Do not store them inside database, sir. Keep all these videos in file stream. File stream is a folder. Dump all the videos there in a folder, right? And when college plays the college has an application, sir, where student information will load and the video will play. And the video will play from where? Not from database, but from Dash. File stream. So from file stream, it will play the video directly. So this is just an improvement. Than storing everything in database, you can store things in file stream. Okay, not only video was an example that I gave, documents that you want to open, PDFs, but anything which is document, PDF, photos, videos, and all this things can be kept in file stream. I mean, sir, don't worry. KD Ammo, what are you talking? Looks like complex. Sir, we will not do file stream. File stream is not our job. File stream is application team's job. Developers do that. We don't do that. Sai, a developer came to you and said that, Sai, I need a file stream. What will you do, sir? You will just take this. You will take this. You will take this and hit next, right? Later on, let them use it, sir. Not our headache. We will create and give them. We are installing file stream and giving them, sir. It's not our job to sit and do file stream and all that. Got it? So file stream is a new feature in 2008 R2. This was not there in 2005. And what value file stream brings, sir? Videos, photos, documents, anything that you have, you can store in file stream and play from there. So performance will improve and videos will play better and fast and whatever you want. Oh, if I give a long explanation, sorry about that. Can I hit next now and we close the session for today? Sir, last screen finished.
Yeah,
last screen. That's all, sir. Okay. So now hit next. If you want, I will show this installation one more time tomorrow. Then you will feel better. So I'm hitting next again. Error reporting. Do you want to send information to Microsoft? I don't want to send. Hit next, sir. Finally, click on next again. And click on, okay, this is a summary screen. Whatever you are installing, a summary screen of it. And click on install. This is 2008 R2 installation. And 8 is also same. So the joke is 12 is also same. 14 is also same. 16 is also same. 17 is also same. 19 is also same. With small changes here and there. So that. Yeah, so tomorrow morning as we start the class, I will do 8 R2 installation one more time. Okay, then I will show you after 8 R2, 12 we will see one more. 12 also we will complete. 12 and 14. So 3 installations we have to complete tomorrow. If we can't complete, it's okay. So it's not a hard target, but at least 8 R2 and 12 we will complete. If we can't complete 14, we will do it on Monday next week. So by next week, Monday and Tuesday, we will complete all the installations, please. Can we start lab from Wednesday, please? Hands-on, because without lab, what's the point of learning all this, sir? So from Wednesday we will start the lab. Okay, done. Was there any question from anyone? Lavanya? Yes, please. Okay, you said yes. Okay.
I think today was actually right.
There was any lag in the internet, Magesh. Can't hear you, sir.
Yeah, I'm saying that today was the plan to take the lab, right?
Today was the plan, but we could not complete all the installations, right? So after all the installations complete, after you see 2005, 8, 8R2, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19, all the versions, have a view of all the installations, then we will start the lab. Because once everybody sees that will be, you'll feel comfortable to do the lab. Okay, good, sir. Hey, by the way, sir, this is installation part 1. This is just installation part 1. We have part 2 also. So Bahubali part 2 is much more. Conclusion is very good, sir. But this is graphical, right? This is graphical. You're doing all graphical. And I promise you that we'll be doing command installations also. But sir, not now. Okay. We will finish installation topic. We will go to databases topic after this. Okay. You do graphical installations first. Get comfortable with the platform and everything, sir. Everybody in the class should finish the lab, that one. Then we will start with next week. We will start with the databases topic. MDF, LDF, what are databases, how to create databases, what is inside an MDF, what is inside an LDF, what is a log block, VLF, log sequence numbers, and then what is page, block, extents. So we will be talking all this, and we will be talking at I repeat, we'll be talking at in-depth level. Don't worry, you don't need to be a computer graduate to understand all this. You will easily understand, it's my strong belief, but let's see. Is that clear, sir? So first we will complete all the installations, start lab by next week, Tuesday or Wednesday. mostly, and then we will start the topic called databases after all installations are complete. So installation is our first topic. So again, part 1 is different, part 2 is different. Because did I tell you troubleshooting of instances? If an instance, everything is going smooth, oh wow, we are watching. What if an installation fails? How do I troubleshoot? You should know how to troubleshoot, right? That we will cover. All graphical installations are ugly. Command installations. Let's see how to do command-wise installations. It will be awesome, and I hope you will like it. I hope. Let's see. In our last batch, we have a friend called Anjan. He hates graphical things. I'm so sorry. He hates command things. Whatever he wants graphical only. So graphical guy. I pull his legs always and say graphical guy and graphical guy. So any graphical guys here, fine. I'll pull your legs also. But the point is, so we have graphical section, we have command section also. Don't worry, practice will make us better, sir. So if you're doing graphical things, right, you cannot create that impression in people. If you do command things, people will look at you rich. That's why Oracle is always top 10 SQL Server, right? Everything in Oracle is graphical. GG is not graphical. Everything is command. Okay, enough of the session, sir. It's already going on. Installation will take a little time. Tomorrow morning, I'll do this installation one more time. And with that, we are done with the class. Any questions anybody can ask?
So lab, in the sense, how lab will be happening? Okay.
Lab is also a Zoom meeting itself, where a lab coordinator. Initial days, I'll be there for sure, sir, because initial days, I need to make sure that you all feel comfortable doing the lab. Me and lab coordinator, which will be DP and Prabhu and me, we all will be there to help you with doing the same practicals, same thing which I'm doing, you will be doing, and we'll be watching just to make sure that you are feeling comfortable. Now, all people at one shot cannot go through, right? And I don't think all people will join lab at the same time. So, the whole day the meeting is open, sir. The whole day the meeting is open. Anybody can join anytime. Anybody can exit anytime. Only request is 7:30. After that, 7:30. Lab coordinator also has their personal life. So 7:30 is the closure time for them. Is that okay? Before 7:30, if you can finish all your labs. I know some of you are working and it gets tough for you and you need to work in the evening itself. Let's see how we can manage that. But 7:30 is the ideal lab closure time for others. Working people have any challenges?
What is the start and end time of the lab?
There's no start time, there's no end time. So immediately after our class, the lab starts. If somebody wants to get in immediately. So there's no start and end time, technically. Or, sometimes, Bharat, after we become more friends and our associations increase, people work late night also. Like, depending on, let's say, Bharat, you pair up with Bhanu or Priyanka, and you guys are working on something important and you want to practice some important topic. So that meeting is always open. Anybody can join, anybody can log in. You will have full rights to share your screens and everything. So because unfortunately we are in the virtual world and we need a platform to be with each other, and virtual platform is the, and I can't, so I'm just not saying that do lab for the whole day. Listen to the class for 1.5 hours, do lab for another 1.5 hours in a day. It's more than enough. So installation completed. Tomorrow I'll show you more about this. So 1.5 hour class, 1.5 hour per lab, around close to 3 hours plus, 3.5 hours. Rest all day is yours. Just give us 3 to 4 hours per day, and you will see the transformation in the next. Not assuring any six-pack transformations here, but one thing is guaranteed, sir. Technical transformation is definitely going to happen. You just need to give the time for this. That's all. Maximum 3 to 4 hours in a day. Max. Yeah. Once level 2 starts, sir, there are a couple of topics where more work is required. We will talk there more. Anyways, can we continue this discussion tomorrow?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. And then looking at the time, we already exceeded. Yes, Surya, I'm there.
Yeah, why is 2005 won't work in Windows 10, sir?
No, compatibility issue. It's just compatible. That is old and this is new. Compatibility issue.
Okay.
Officially doesn't work, but unofficially we can make it work.
Okay,
Any other questions, sir?
KD, only today's session, if you please share, that will be really great. Because today
so we are okay. Oh, yes, this question always comes at the last only. Why it doesn't come at the beginning of the session? I'm so sorry. Can we talk? Yeah, sure. We'll talk about this tomorrow in the class anyways, as I start the class. So I want to give clarity on the recordings to everyone, that, this is fine, Magesh. I heard what you said. I saw the chat also, what you kept there. So I wanted to talk about something about recordings, because recordings have a good thing and recordings have a bad thing also. Good thing about recordings is recapturing what has happened. For that, we have content, sir. We have material and everything which you can go through. Okay, one thing. Second thing is, if recording is there, what's happening, what we observed in all the 13.5 years of our past experiences, people get little, take it for granted. Like, anyways, recording is there. I'll listen to it later, and that later never happens. That's for guaranteed. So that somewhere that, recklessness or something comes out for sure, sir, and we have seen this. So just saying that, and again, no problem. If somebody is missing a session, admin team can be informed. They will track through and make sure the session is available if somebody is missing a session, because going forward from next week onwards, once you all confirm, we will go for lab attendance as well. Not lab, we'll take an attendance as well. So we know who is coming. I will be knowing who is coming and who is not coming for a class. So there will be an attendance track going on. Plus, if somebody misses a session, please definitely inform admin team. Admin team can quickly look at it and make sure that the respective session is provided. Not every session, sir, because every session is asked, then that means people are not listening. So we want a physical class. And if it is recording was the point, right? You could have recorded the entire course and kept it in YouTube or a paid website or somewhere, and that works out. That is also one more thing. But the whole purpose of this course is talk to each other, motivate each other, get into the lab, work together, which will not happen watching a video. I mean, Magesh, I'm not answering you. I'm just normally telling. Last week I got this question, so I was trying to answer it now. So recording will spoil us, then make us better. So give your best for this 1.5 hour duration, sir, and we will see what to do later. Yes, if somebody is missing a session, no problem. Please talk to admin team. Just send a message to them. They will check through and provide the session for this. Answer clear? I hope I answered the question. Yes, if you're missing a class, recording is there. If you're not missing a class, constant recordings are not a good idea, is my suggestions. Done. Focus will go off. I've said, okay, wait. I attended one training recently in our organization. The moment my team members started pressing the record button, I was listening. It was called as what is that? The recent technology. One second. AWS Redshift. AWS Redshift. It's a database. It's also one database. It's a cloud database. AWS Redshift. It was a training going on in our company. So till that time, I was concentratedly listening. So even so, I'm telling, I have the same mindset. Till that time, I was concentratedly listening. Record button was pressed, and I know that no record is going on. My daughter came, my wife came and saying something, and then I went off. Gone. I know that the recording is there. That recording is there for the last 10 days. Sir. I'm trying to watch it, and it's never happened. So I wish I could have allocated my time exclusively for that in Redshift learning. I could have been better. So I'm just saying, telling that negatives, positives are also there. I'm not saying no to that. Positives are also there. But we just want to maintain the decorum. That's all. Thank you for understanding the point. I hope. If anybody have any other opinion, please feel free to have a chat with me or a call with me. I'm okay to discuss. Done? Can we sign off now, sir? Okay. Signing off. Let's meet tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Have a great day, everyone. Take care.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Kere.